Series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. Our focus is on the southeast region. But first, our top stories from other parts of the country. The controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, popularly known as Bobrisky, has been sentenced to 6 months in prison without an option of fine for abusing the Nigerian currency. Justice Abimbola Awogworo of the High Court, Lagos, in her sentence says the judgment will serve as a deterrent to others who are fond of abusing and mutilating the Nigerian naira. Prior to the sentence, the judge asked Bobrisky about his sex, his gender, and he quickly replied that he is a man. He was subsequently sentenced to serve his jail term at the Ikoyi Correctional Center. The judge, in a ruling, held that the jail term will begin from March the 24th, 2024, the day of his arrest. Meanwhile, the Lagos High Court, sitting in Ikeja, has granted bail to the former Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Justice Rahman Oshodi granted him bail in the sum of 50 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. The court also held the sureties must be gainfully employed and have 3 years tax payments with the Lagos state government. Justice Oshodi said that the sureties must show proper identification. There must be the Lagos state bail management system. The judge also says he was satisfied with bail conditions of 1 million naira earlier given to Emefiele's co-defendant, Henry Isioma Omoile, who is standing trial, and another charge before Justice Lufunke Sule Hamzat of the Lagos High Court, sitting in Yaba. 2 students of the Federal University of Bukari have abducted by kidnappers, have regained their freedom. The students, identified as Joshua Sardana from Economics Department and Obianu Elizabeth of Microbiology, were released by their captives late last night close to the Chinkai village, Bukari local government area of Taraba State. The head of Information and Protocol Unit of the university, Mrs. Ashu, disclosed this to Channels Television via a telephone interview. According to her, a ransom of 700,000 naira was paid for their freedom. The kidnappers had earlier requested a ransom of 50 million naira. Now, it's a sigh of relief for residents of Enugu metropolis as concludes the reconstruction of the Transekulu GRA road. As that is concluded, the road is one of the 71-kilometer roads for reconstruction by the state government in October 2023 to give the state a facelift and to ease vehicular movement. Commissioner for Works, Mr. Gerald Otiji, is asking residents to protect the asset so it can serve its purpose.
This is Transekulu, one of the 71-kilometer roads recently embarked upon by the Enugu state government to ease vehicular movement. The reconstruction work started in October 2023, and 5 months down the line, it wears a new look with drainage systems and road markings.
This is a duplication of what we see in the developed world. So I must tell you that this is a new birth for this road. Even an enemy can testify that this is excellent.
As you can see, it is not only this place that are doing this road. Go to this in Iva Valley, they are working. Go to Ababa, they are working. Go to what is it called? In Ido River, they are working. Go to the Phone Village there, they are working. They are working in every place.
Tricycle operators, especially those who ride on that side of the metropolis, say the reconstruction has cut down their journey from 60 minutes to barely 10 minutes.
Immediately I turned from the other side, I said, wow, this place has become another thing. Gives me a very big job because I know when this place was rough, know how we jump and everything, but all we have to do is to pray for him, that God should help him to continue in a good way like this.
Before, hold up there, I had reached like 1 hour before I go reach IMT. But now, 5 minutes, I don't reach IMT.
For the State Commissioner of Works, Mr. Gerald Otiji, government has made provision for night driving, not just on the Trans-Ekelu Road, but in all its ongoing projects.
The governor has said his priority is to not just to build a beautiful road, but to mark it in such a way that you will know where you are approaching, to safeguard the students, the hospitals, churches, and then lit them up at night so that those who are driving with full beams will no longer be putting their full beams. They can put the normal beams so you don't blind your opposing approaching vehicle.
He believes that for the road to stand the test of time, residents must play their part in protecting it.
This road is economically important for us to reach out. So this is even another reason why we should protect it. This is why we should protect it. The government is doing all the important things for them for us to have eyes on all our junctions, all our roads.
With a free flow of traffic on this road, users are also advised to drive carefully and be aware of other drivers, reduce their speed limit, and not drink and drive.
Governor of Abia State, Mr. Alex Otti, has met with leadership of the Housing Authority led by the Chief Executive Officer, who paid him a visit at his country home in Isialangwa local government area to seek with the state for affordable housing for Nigerians living in diaspora. According to him, Mr. Ojo, federal government made affordable one of the special programs in his Hope agenda, where Nigerians outside can comfortably buy land in their states from their phones. Governor Otti said the decision is to ensure Nigerians have a roof over their heads, adding that the administration has already identified a destination for a village that will open up more opportunities for the people, especially Abia residents.
We've been talking with Diaspora Commission and Tourism. Also, what is where we synergize with Abia State, Federal Housing Authority, Diaspora Commission, so that people outside can buy, people outside can buy this property. We are developing a hub. We are going on digitalization, whereby when people buy, the Abians buy a property in their state from their phone. They can easily say, this is my land or this is my property. Easily they can check with the Ministry of Housing in Abia State, Ministry of Land, simultaneously check with Federal Housing Authority and Diaspora Commission.
We have a lot of our people out there. Our people are very itinerant. We go to the UK, we go to the US, we go to Canada. We are not only going to identify the location for the diaspora village, but that we are going to go the extra mile of setting up the structures for them and setting up a system whereby they can even pay some small.
The Abia State government has expressed the readiness of Dr. Otti's administration to expand the tax net by bringing new taxpayers into the system, adding that it's launching the digital harmonized revenue collection for all local government areas in the state next week. Addressing newsmen in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, shortly after exercise aimed at improving compliance and revenue collectors at the park sensitization, the special advisor to the governor on internally generated revenue says the state is putting measures in place to block revenue leakages and increase tax collection.
We've commenced the enforcement of this activity by setting up a harmonized enforcement task force, which will help us to ensure that there's no revenue leakage through touting processes and also illegal revenue collectors across the state or double or multiple taxation within for our citizens. So what we're doing basically now is to ensure that the government creates avenue where people can actually make their payments effectively to the state coffers. So if you look at, before we came in the past, a lot of the way the revenue collection is done is not well structured. So what we do was to make sure that we streamline the processes. We had a revenue strategy session where we bring all the revenue stakeholders in the states to ensure that we follow the the process, because our target really, what we want to do based on the governor's manifesto is to achieve a 10 billion naira revenue target, which is actually possible. Although now we have more of a little commerce and trading business within the state and transportation, but we're also looking at expanding our business and also getting people to come into our economy to invest in those industries and factories and the rest of them. The power activity has actually improved business in Abia. So we also ensure that we give people the ample opportunity to make their revenue payment to the state coffers directly.
Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has reiterated his commitment towards achieving the desired livable and prosperous homeland through the 5 pillars of his administration's blueprint. He said this during the 2024 Sisters Fellowship Convention at Nkwo, Demili North Local Government Area.
This is the 2024 Global Convention of the Sister Fellowship International, holding at their auditorium in Nkwo, Demili North Local Government Area of Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, who is the special guest at this year's event, is given a resounding welcome as he arrives the hall. With the theme, Winning Always, the national president of the SFI, Reverend Nches Iredu, comments on the slogan of the Anambra State government, describing it as divinely inspired.
I thank God for him. Wherever you see his name, you will see one statement. It's not a statement, I think it's a word. Solution. Solution. That solution is not, and he says solution is here. That thing is not just one of those write-ups. Solution is here indeed.
Next, Reverend Iredu extols the governor for his disposition towards the poor and vulnerable persons in the state, as well as his achievements within 2 years in office.
He is bringing somebody into the state to cleanse him. To cleanse the state. As he was telling me that, you people, if you have entered this state, or you are a member, you live in this state, you will discover that this state was left in a mess.
Addressing the gathering, Governor Soludo commends the Sisters Fellowship International and pledged that the state government will partner them in the establishment of a livable and prosperous homeland.
We've already been named by one of the international newspapers as the best governor in Nigeria in terms of infrastructure development. We are doing over 400 kilometers of road. We already completed about 447 at an average of at least 10 kilometers every month. We're not going to borrow. We will only borrow and deploy into projects that will have capacity to generate returns to payback.
The governor calls for synergy between his government and the fellowship towards intensifying developments across the state and the world at large, urging the congregation not to relent in living lives dedicated to public good and service.
The General Officer commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, Major General Taiwo Dada, has commended the troops, the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, for their relentlessness in ensuring that peace and stability is restored to the 5 southeast states in recent times. Addressing the troops at the Oguta Naval Base in Oguta local area of Imo State, he urges the troops not to rest on their oars in continuous fight against banditry and all forms of crime in Imo State, by extension, the southeast. He said the leadership of the army will continue with their welfare, to work for their welfare in order to boost their morale as they defend the integrity of the nation.
General Officer Commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, Major General Taiwo Dada, arrives the Oguta Naval Base for an interactive session with the troops of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka. As it is customary, the GOC is welcomed by the quarter guard as it takes salutes and inspects the quarter guard. He proceeds to the field to share some remarkable moments with the troops of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, who have been in the front line of combating banditry and all forms of criminality in the state. The commander, Oguta Naval Base Commodore Mohammed Salisu, speaks on the successes of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka and their efforts in quelling insecurity in the state and the southeast.
Operation Udoka has developed robust strategies to reposition the various components to tackle the myriads of security challenges in the southeast, as well as to wage unrelenting war against crude oil theft, illegal oil bunkering, as well as kidnapping. This ceremony provides a veritable opportunity for personnel of Operation Udoka, as well as other sister services, to socialize, as well as strengthen their working relationship.
In his message to the troops, the General Officer Commanding 82nd Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, Major General Taiwo Dada, commends their doggedness, sacrifice and commitment in fighting criminality in Imo State and the zone. The GOC also commends the support of other sister security agencies as he assures them that the leadership of the Nigerian military will continue to support them. He urges them not to rest in their laurels as those criminals are still out there.
Yes, there's an improvement in state of security in the whole of the southeast, but that does not mean we will rest on our oars. People are going back to their businesses. The sit at home is no longer an issue in the southeast, but there are still other forms of criminalities. Such criminalities, we will support the civil authority, the civil power, to make sure that everywhere is safe in the southeast and people can do what they like at any time and whenever. There is no doubt the military cannot do it alone. Hence the formation of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka. It's an all-government approach, all-society approach, so that all of us can live in peace.
The visit gives the men and soldiers the opportunity to wine and dine and unwind. This development, no doubt, the GOC says will boost the morale of the troops in their determination to stamp out criminality in the zone. Operation Udoka is a military operation in the southeast aimed at combating banditry and putting an end to the sit-at-home menace and activities of criminal elements in the southeast region. Iyitokpakute, Channels Television News.
The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma, has approved for immediate employment in the state civil service Mr. Chionso Okwaraji and Chukwureme Ude, two indigents of the state who made first class in law at the Imo State University and the Nigerian Law School. The governor gave approval when the Vice Chancellor of the Imo State University, Professor Uche Chukwumeze, and the Chief Judge of Imo State, Honorable Teresa Chikeka, led the two school graduates on a courtesy visit to the governor at the Government House in Owerri.
They distinguished themselves exceedingly very well. They made first class in the university, Imo State University. They are Imo indigenes, and they got to law school. They also made first class. So an excellent result, worthy of emulation. And in order to encourage the upcoming ones to show commitment and dedication in developing their academic career, we have to create some kind of incentives. And that is why I've directed that they should be given immediate employment within the service, within the school authority, or even the government offices as an incentive. And if any other person makes first class, like we did, we will also do the same.
The graduates appreciated the governor for his generosity.
Very excited and happy. Can't even quantify, because this is the reward for hard work. In our society, we think that hard work has needed for the gesture of your excellency, has shown that there is indeed reward for hard work, and he has also shown his willingness to encourage students to work hard. For intending law students, if you have a flair for law, if you have a flair for change, the law course is your own. You can actually do a lot with the degree. Give it a try. And then for those who are already in law school, going for the first class, please put your best. It is worth the hard work. It is worth the effort. You will reap it.
Finally, the People's Party in Ebonyi State, True Democratic Party in Ebonyi State, reiterates that it's focused and committed to deepening democracy as mass defections to all Progressive Congress APC hit the party in recent times. During a party stakeholders meeting in Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State, the governorship candidate of the party during the 2023 general elections, Dr. Ifeanyi Odley, says that the party remains resolute, united and focused, adding that they will continue to engage with communities and the people.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite that man who, by the grace of God, is addressed as
Your Excellency, you are a man.
For me, I'm always intentional with making progress in life in a manner. Let me particularly remind us that we must therefore forge ahead, and in forging forward, I believe it is important for us to remain resolute, united, focused on our shared goals, aspiration of a prosperous Ebonyi State. We must continue to engage with our communities and people, listen to their needs and the concerns with love, passion, hope in the state that flourishes. I'm sure that together we can build a stronger and sustainable future for all Ebonians. As we look ahead, I'm more persuaded ever than our opportunities for greater positive impact in the state are more glaring than ever. I'm committed to continuing our work together in finding new ways to engage our people in addressing their growing needs. Our dear dedicated party men and women, I want to thank you all for your support, dedication, and I'm proud to have had the opportunity to lead this transformational journey.
That's it on Newsroom series. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide McCauley.